Hello and welcome to Business Insights. I'm your host, Dwight Cromie. Today we'll be talking with Mr. Jim Primrose, the Director of New Initiatives and Corporate Partnerships at the University of California, Riverside Extension. He will explain how this partnership at UCR benefits local businesses and the community. Welcome, Jim. How are you doing today?
Very well. Thank you, Dwight.
To start off, Jim, what is the University Extension Program?
Well, that's a great question. Most people don't understand truly what that is. So the university is made up of many different colleges, and the Extension is one of those colleges, and we truly are focused on not degrees. We don't do degree granting. We do certificates, and we're all about upskilling, staying relevant. We work with off hours for the professional, weekends, nights, those types of things. So we're developing their skills in that area. That being said, we also do summer camps for children. So we cover OSHER as well, which the OSHER program is for your mature learner, 50 years and older. So you could say that we cover anywhere from 8 to 108 years of age. So we're very diverse. We think very much entrepreneurial. So we can actually help the community as a whole. We go out into the community, talk to the businesses, and find out what kind of upskilling and or training that they might need. We try to stay ahead of the curve. So we're always developing new curriculum developed out there. It goes through our academic senate for approval, and then we actually find a sponsor company within inside that industry that could actually provide the first training through that and make sure that our training is done in the proper way as well.
So what are some of the programs that you offer, say, businesses in this region, especially, say, manufacturers? What are some of the benefits or programs that a manufacturer could take advantage of through the UCR extension?
So we have many, many different things that they can take advantage of. One of the great things about what we have going as well is we have workforce development dollars. So that's money that is a tax that anybody in the manufacturing, logistics, and some medical companies pay into, and the state provides 1% of that back to that type of industry that they can take advantage of, anything to do with training. So some of the training we have is logistics, manufacturing management, skills in the workplace, business, entrepreneurship. So any of those types of classes can be done. And if there's a cohort of, say, 12 students or more at any particular organization, we can actually send the instructor to them and have it taught on site for them as well.
So you offer these courses. What is the cost to the manufacturer? I mean, there's two things a manufacturer is concerned with: the cost of the class and the cost of the downtime for his employees to be at the class. So how does a manufacturer take advantage of that, and what's the best way to take advantage
Absolutely.
of that?
And that actually, you think free training for my employees, that's a great thing. You'd think I could sell that every day, but it is kind of a difficult thing, especially for manufacturers, because the employees have to be getting paid while they're actually going through this training. That is one of the stipulations that the state mandates. But the training and all of our efforts put behind that training is no cost to that manufacturer. We'll set up the class, we put the curriculum together, we manage the class, we manage the personnel that are coming in and out, so we can track that, so we get paid for that through the state. The only thing is that the manufacturer organization has to provide that during their work period and their work time.
How long is say I'm a manufacturer and I'm interested in taking the program or sending 2 or 3 of my employees to the program? What is the length of the program? What is the commitment for that manufacturer? Is it 1 day? Is it 10 days? What is the average commitment for a manufacturer?
It truly depends on what the course is that they're trying to push through to upskill their team. And it could be a 1-day intensive course, or a lot of times what it will be is 1 or 2 days a week for a 6 or 12-week period, so then they can get everything they need out of that. And it can be as short as 3 hours or as long as 8 hours, so it just depends. We're very flexible in working with them to make sure that they get the best thing that they can get in a period that doesn't disrupt their environment as much as possible.
So on that basis, I'm interested in sending in an employee to the program. What does that employee gain, and how does that benefit me, say the CEO of a manufacturing company? How does that benefit me in the long term?
So what happens a lot of times is you have that employee that's really shining, but they can't get to that next level of management that you might need out of them, and they've got all the knowledge and this, they're just lacking that piece of skill. They have their trade skill, but they don't have that management skill, and that is something that your employees could actually get through this. In addition, there's just a whole myriad of different things. Sometimes English as a second language. A lot of times in the manufacturing, there's Hispanic-speaking folks that might need to know a little bit more about English. We can come in there and teach some English classes. We do Mandarin for some of the casinos even, so it just depends on what it is that's needed inside of that organization.
So what have you found to be the biggest stumbling block for manufacturers to say, hey, I really need my company to move forward. I need it to run a little bit more efficiently. What is really preventing them from taking advantage of the program?
Truly, I think, especially with manufacturing, and it does happen with the logistics organizations as well, but it is being able to take that person off of the line, because as you know, in manufacturing, every second counts. They have to turn out X amount per minute or per hour of whatever it is that they're manufacturing. So taking that individual off that line, or multiple individuals off that line, can shut that down for a period of time. And I think that's been the biggest stumbling block. I understand why it's a mandate from the state that they have to be employed and being paid to go to this class during their work hours, but it actually does create sometimes a stumbling block in getting that pushed out to the employees.
Jim, can you tell me, how does a CEO or a production line manager deal with the issue of taking a person offline to take advantage of this training when they're always faced with production deadlines? I know it's a benefit in the long run, but how do you convince a CEO or a production manager that, in the long run, this employee putting in, anywhere from 3 hours to several dozen hours is a benefit to them in the long term?
Yeah, that's definitely one of the problems that we've been finding out in working on this, is that the manufacturers have to have their people on their line the entire time, because as you know, when you're manufacturing something, every second counts. So they're trying to get everything they can out of that individual. So we work with these CEOs or line managers so we can let them understand how educating their staff and upskilling them will actually embed something in them that will help them want to stay and work longer for that company and be more loyal. So once some CEO actually gets that, they will start taking advantage of a lot of our courses we've found and doing multiple out there. And as I mentioned, to try to make it easier for them, we can actually do, say, 3 or 4 hours in a day and do it actually on their site if they have a cohort of, say, 12 or more individuals. So we're doing everything we can to kind of help them mitigate any of those risks and keep their lines steady. So,
one of the questions I have, are these courses really just for line personnel, or do you offer courses for the CEO himself or C-level management within a corporation?
We offer all of the above. I mean, like I mentioned earlier, some of the folks will take advantage of ESL, English as a second language, for some of their line folks, but then we have obviously we're a UC system, so we have all different sides of the professional development, and we can offer any of those classes or courses for them. But what we can do as well, and we've done this many, many times, is sometimes the CEO will say, my middle management needs some help. I see you have these 2 courses. Can we take pieces of these 2 courses and mesh them together in a custom course specifically for them? So we're able to do that as well. So we can meet whatever the needs are for any learning level that they're trying to reach.
Now, I understand with your program, you're starting to develop what you call a corporate partnership. Can you explain to me what that corporate partnership is, and how does it benefit both the business community and the community at large?
So the corporate partnership is something that we came up with about a year ago, and we have now 30 some odd corporate partners. We go out into the community. Obviously, we're about professional development and community outreach. We don't do degree granting, so we're for that professional development organization or individual that's working. So most of our courses are off hours and weekends. We offer those corporate partners all of their employees get a 10% discount on any of our open courses. And that does include any custom courses that the organization might want to do actually on their site or send a cohort to our facility. So they automatically get a 10% discount on any of our open courses, as well as anybody that's 50 years or over that might be interested in our OSHA program, which is lifelong learning, lectures and trips. They do some fun things in there. We'll give them 1 year free membership into that, which is about $45.
Now, your OSHA program, I could see that for that business owner that is succeeding or exiting his business and he really doesn't want to just sit home. So it's really a program that helps him, through that process. Okay, what am I going to do after
It is. It's a great way to get folks out of the house and out of any kind of lock-in after retirement. But there's a lot of folks that are still working that take advantage of that. There's some folks that might not necessarily be an OSHA member, but they could be an OSHA lecturer for us. They've been successful in their business, so then we ask them to come in and speak, and next thing you know, they fall in love with the OSHA program as well. They make a lot of friends there. They love the lecture series. They like the trips out to, say, JPL or whatever it may be. So they really start getting involved. One of our biggest things that we do is we have an Oscar night where we do out in the desert, at our Palm Desert facility. We do one there, and then we also do one here in Riverside, where we'll screen one of the Oscar movies, and we'll have one of either the producers or directors or writers or somebody come in and lecture about that as well. That sells out immediately, especially in the desert. It's sold out within an hour.
So Jim, other than, say, working for a manufacturer and using workforce dollars, what other industries or programs do you offer businesses and or the community?
So when I was talking specifically about manufacturing, that was specific around workforce development dollars. We are open to all various different types of educational or training, upskilling, whatever you want to call it, anywhere from GIS, which is mapping, to CSI, which is criminal science investigation. So there's a whole variety of HR, yoga, so we're very wide open to help anybody in the community to come and take a class. Most of our classes are fairly inexpensive. They're $500 or less right now. So when we actually offer this to our corporate partners, they get another 10% off on top of that. So there's just a lot of savings that they can actually take advantage of, including that discount can be utilized with the early bird discount, which is another X amount off of that too.
Well, let me ask you, we're coming to a close. If a business or an individual is interested in taking advantage of the University of California Extension program that you offer, how do they reach out to you?
Well, they can actually reach out to me personally. I am in charge of any corporate partnership, but if you get online onto our website, you can actually go to our corporate partner page and see who is our corporate partners currently. And then my information is on there as well, so they can contact me. I'll get them hooked up with that, so then we can actually work with them to start marketing to their employees to take advantage of that.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Dwight.
Jim.
Appreciate being here.
For those of you who are interested in taking advantage of the University of California Extension program, following this program, we'll put up a slide that'll give you Jim's contact information, website, so you can access the programs that they offer. Thank you for watching.